Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Jirby BBQ. I am in the smokehouse of Goldee's BBQ in Kennedale, Texas. Today I'm going to be going over fire management, how to cook low and slow. It's recording. Alrighty, y'all. I got some pieces of wood right here for you that I'm going to kind of go over before we get into like building the fire and stuff. I got this one right here. This is pretty much my favorite kind of log that we have. Nice and flat, and it has a lot of bark. So the flatness of it helps when you use it to keep the flame down. It pushes, like when you put it on top or you use the balsam log or you use it as your third layer, it just keeps the flame down. Flames will come around the side of it, but they never come around like very fast or very hot or anything like that. So these are my favorite. And plus the barkiness, I love the bark. The bark is just like very smoky while it's burning. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing. The barkiness is really great. I love using very barky wood during a rib cook or a short cook like a turkey or chicken or pork butt, something like that, because you want as much smoke as possible. So use a lot of barky logs. That'll get you that flavor. Brisket, not so much. You're gonna get that smokiness because it's a 10, 12-hour cook, so you're gonna get it over time no matter what. But when you have a short cook like ribs, 4 or 5 hours, a lot of barky logs, perfect. And my second favorite, these triangle pieces like this. I love these because when I'm cooking, I like to put them on the fire like so, like flat side to flat side when I'm stacking them in there. That way there's not a whole lot of space in between them, helps keep the fire super, super low and slow. These are just overall just great pieces of wood. They make really good guardian logs, like the logs that we put in the smoker in front of the briskets, just like this, so that the airflow will go over the front brisket. So this is a nice little light log. It's another kind of triangle, kind of flat. It's kind of a mix. But you got your lighter logs that are real light, and then you have your greener logs that are heavier. I like the light logs to kind of be my bottom logs, the ones that go in the coals. Obviously they'll catch. They won't smoke as much. They're really good for that. These greener logs, I love using these green logs as the middle layer or the very top layer, because they ignite very slowly and they burn for a really long time, and that'll help keep your temp going for a really long time, basically. If you use only light logs, say I use 7 light logs on a fire, it's just gonna burn through really quickly. I'll hit my temp, and then it'll sit there for 20 minutes. Everything's coals, so I like to use a good mix. Alright, so I'm gonna build a little fire on the ground right here, and then I'm gonna talk about it, and then we're gonna put it in the firebox. So this is gonna be my first bottom log. This is gonna be, we'll say this is the firebox right here, going into the cook chamber like that. Can you see my hands? Firebox, cook chamber, that way. Second bottom log, I got these. I'll probably dig these down into the coal bed so the fire is lower in general, and the next row of logs is closer to the coals, so there won't be so much airflow, so they won't go crazy, and you'll see what I'm talking about when I get in there. So we'll go first one right here. This is closest to the smoke chamber. You notice I have the pointy side going that way. I have the flat side going this way. Next one, flat side right to the back of it. So there's not very much airflow in between these two logs. And they'll go about right here. Next one, that one looks too long. All right there. So, like I was saying, not a whole lot of airflow in between these logs. Basically, these are your 2 bottom logs. This is the coal bed right in between these 2 bottom logs, and these 3 are going to be very close to the coals, just a little bit above it. You don't want them way up above it because they'll start moving way too fast. The fire will start going nuts. You don't want the fire to go nuts. You don't want the fire to be crackling. You don't want it to be just being sucked into the smoke chamber. What you want is these very close, and you want the fire to slowly come up to your desired temperature. So this is why you have it like this. As the logs start breaking down, these gaps get bigger and bigger in between them. So as they get bigger, the fire gets hotter, and it keeps it so where this one set that you've made lasts a very long time. The temperature will last a very long time because you built it like this. If I build it like this, these logs will catch very fast, and they'll get to your temp very quickly that you want, but they'll sit at that temp very shortly because they will all break down, and you'll just have to keep building it. So get them close together,
And also when you have it like this, like I said, I'll show you more, but it's like a fast fire. Basically, it's gonna be very fast, it's gonna be very big, the flames are gonna be big, they're gonna be sucked into the smoke chamber. It's not ideal. It's not ideal, it'll crisp up your food and make it not so good. So what you want is them very tight like this, small flames, little small flames that go straight up. You want the flames to go straight up. You do not want flames being sucked into your smoke chamber. And I got another one just in case. This usually, like a fire like this, at 1,000 gallon, you're looking at 225, 250. These next logs are gonna be, you know, when you start getting to 275, 300. So I got that one, the 8 one. So these are the logs that I really like to use for this third layer. I like these two. I mean, as long as it has a flat, you know, side. Once again, this flat side will push the flames down. You don't want big flames coming out of your fire. I know that's, I mean, it's fire, you want to see flames, whatnot. You don't want big flames. You got 7 logs in total right now, and 7 logs seems like a lot. But if you build the fire like this, even in an uninsulated firebox, it will hold temperature for a very long time. And the flames will come through. Eventually, these will spread out. So what's happening is basically you're not getting to the temp you want as fast building it like this, but you will get there, and it will sit longer, and it will burn a more efficient, better fire. And you want this slow fire for your food, because when you have the flames that just flow right into the cook chamber, those flames will make your food crispy. You want a slow flame, small, low, and slow. When people say low and slow, most people think like, okay, you're gonna cook this brisket for 18 hours at 250. And that's not what you want to do. Low and slow means the fire is low in your firebox and the flame is slow. The flame is not ripping. It's just burning. It's burning straight up. It's a very chill flame. That's slow. Low is, like I said, when I bury these into the firebox and I get these as low and as far away from the food as possible. That's low and slow. Alrighty, now I'm gonna build this in there. On a nice flat coal bed. So I got my 2 bottom logs. Put one right here. Put one right here. Alright. And then I'm gonna dig it down into these holes to get the fire actually physically lower in the firebox. I want my fire low. I don't want them on top of the coals. I don't want a tall fire that's way up in the firebox. I want a small little fire. Oops. That's okay. So, I got my 2 bottom logs buried in the coals. So, make sure they're nice and tight together. I'm going to put the last 2 logs on top to push these flames down. Right there. You got no flames coming out the top. Go out the sides a little bit, but not the top. So I got this flame pushed way down. It's not going crazy, you know. There's not a huge flame. So I'm gonna shut this door. Shut the door about so. Let it catch up, and then I'll show y'all what it's looking like at 275. All right, this fire has been burning for a while now. You can see that the flames still aren't very big. It'll get bigger and hotter as the gaps get bigger and wider from the fire just burning in between them for long enough that they get wider and wider and wider. And you balance that out with putting a lot of logs on, getting to a certain temp, having a certain amount of coals in the thing, and you can really sit at certain temps that you want to get to for a very long time with a very good, efficient, slow fire. So that's basically it. Basically, I am
building these slow fires, low and slow, over and over and over again throughout the entire cook. That is going to give you the softest briskets, the least crispy ribs. Everything will be looking a lot better, a lot juicier with these slow fires. You build high, fast fires that get sucked into the smoke chamber. That over time, throughout a long cook, will crisp up your briskets and make them dry. So what you want to do is the low, slow, nice, and chill. If you're noticing, let's say like your briskets, you're cutting into them and you see just like dark, smoke rings on the front of the briskets, on the front of the points, or the thin side of the lean brisket, the thinnest part of the brisket. If that's really crispy and crunchy, you just need to slow your fires down. That's it, really. That's the biggest tip I can give you to having soft, non-crispy briskets that are juicy.